We're only 10 days away from the insolvency deadline. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because I thought it'd be worth looking at this article which has just come out from Yahoo Finance discussing critical warning as new business deadline is only days away, and this was released just a couple of days ago. Now, earlier this month, I did a video, 25 days until the insolvency cliff, and I was just looking at the number of insolvencies. And you can see here the personal ones. Queensland was 118, New South Wales 124, Victoria 56. NT had none, no personal insolvencies. Now I compared that to this time last year, so we're running at about half the number of personal insolvencies. And you may think, that's a good thing, Florian, why are you complaining? Less people becoming insolvent. And the definition of insolvency is pretty much unable to pay your debts when they fall due. You know, that's great. Sure, we're in the first recession in 28 years. Sure, unemployment is sitting at, 7% or 6.8%. It's gone down. Sure. You know, all of these things. Sure, we've got the government propping up businesses with JobKeeper, propping up potentially zombie businesses. Sure, we've got stimulus flooding the housing market. So it's fantastic that people aren't going insolvent. It seems unnatural. It seems unnaturally low. You've got here, this is looking at the different industries that they're relating to. It's trending down. This, I'd say, is about, the average number. And it's just flooding down, everyone. You've got construction, retail, and the total number is just everything is going down. The same thing for ASIC companies as well. It's about half of where it should be. Because they're a whole... One, the government is propping up the economy with stimulus like never before. You can't really say it's all going well when billions of dollars are just flooding the government, flooding the economy magically from the government. And this is why they're never going to give up the monetary system they currently have, because they can be the saviors. Really, it's just moving the pain around. That's what it is, pushing it off for future generations. But my concern is, once we hit 2021 on January, when we're all recovering from that hangover, when we're probably starting to receive our credit card and afterpay bills for maybe indulging a little bit too much, which is understandable, we may start to see insolvencies creep up again, personal and business. And that will just continue until the government removes all of their support mechanisms, until the bank removes the support mechanisms for mortgages, the mortgage holidays. What do you reckon? So let's have a look at their take on this article. Australian business owners are urged to get their accounts and records in order as the temporary safe harbour deadline is fast approaching, a corporate insolvency advisory has warned. The federal government's safe harbour scheme protected companies trading while insolvent during the COVID-19 crisis. And while it was originally due to end in September, it was extended to the 31st of December when it became clear the economic effects of the pandemic are still wreaking havoc on small businesses. Well, here's a question for you. If you're in small business, and I know a lot of you are that are watching, have you been paid? Are all your payments up to date, everyone? I just had the last few standing invoices. I need to update my accounts. They came in. At the end of a couple of days ago. So we're doing okay. But sometimes, particularly when you're in the construction field, the time to getting paid, can blow out from 30 days to 60 days to 90 days to 120 days. And then, you have to chase them up, follow them up, engage, try and get paid. It's a very, particularly a frustrating part about being involved in the construction industry. A lot of builders will just pay you on their terms, the bigger ones. Which isn't too bad for me because, my costs are just my equipment, software licensing, and that type of thing, and staff costs. And I really have tightened up the costs in our business over the last few years. I've gotten rid of all of the luxuries. But it gets harder for a tradie who's buying material and attaching it to a building permanently. It now becomes part of that building when they're not getting paid on time. And when you no longer have the recourse against someone who's potentially trading while insolvent. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these insolvencies next year. And that could have a flow-on effect. It could be other businesses. So say, you're working for a builder, and then you've got a subby, and then a subby has another subby. It could just flow through to other parts of the economy, other people. And what if you're depending on that money to pay for that holiday unit that you're not getting any rent for because, the economy's all shut down, and you're just holding on, hoping not to sell, hoping it'll all come good. You can see how this can all snowball together. This is what scares me the most. Probably just because of my experience, everyone. Just my experience dealing with people. Bastards who don't pay on time. Can you tell? I mean, here's the thing. Now that I have scaled back our business, our revenue is nowhere near where it was, but I'm much more profitable and I'm much less stressed. And a big part of that stress was we were waiting on money coming in. Maybe we've already spent it because we've had to pay the staff. Every day we were incurring costs of running the business and the premises. And then, okay, fantastic. This company that you worked your ass off to get something done overnight so they could get a deadline or get a tenancy open doesn't pay you or pays you 45 days late. And good luck trying to charge them interest. I've tried to charge one person interest. It never came off, and they're all grumpy. And I go, well, you're paying late, guys. I'm providing you credit. Let me know in the comments if you have actually managed, a small business person, if you've managed to charge interest to someone, if you like a bigger business, a bigger corporate, if you've managed to do it. Because when you're essentially doing that, you're destroying that relationship with that person. You're going, I don't trust you, I don't want to work with you anymore. That's the danger as well. So I'm, much happier now. The Safe Harbor meant the Corporations Act suspended provisions that would otherwise hold directors personally liable for trading while insolvent, according to leading corporate insolvency advisor Mackay Goodwin. Now I've tried to go someone on that. Tried to take him trading while insolvent, they didn't pay, and I got a court case in my favor, or a QCAT decision in my favor. I had a lawyer, I went to ASSEC. It just, sadly, you're wasting good money after bad. That's the problem. You're trying to get revenge on them. So it is critical to get the message out there from New Year's Day. Company directors could face penalties if their business is found to continue trading while insolvent. Mackay Goodwin CEO Dominic Calabrata said. Safe harbor laws state that an external administrator must be appointed to your company before the moratorium's expiry on the 31st of December 2020 if the debts incurred during COVID are to be excluded from a liquidator's claim for insolvent trading, Calabrata said. I really encourage companies to take the time now to examine their businesses and identify if it is still viable or suffering from temporary liquidity challenges. Those companies could undertake a restructure, which could see them continue to trade, but in a stronger financial position. With the right advice, they may come out of COVID stronger than they went in. Damn that sneeze. What do you think? Come out of COVID stronger than you went in. It's almost like a real estate sector, It's strongly declining in price. He urged businesses to seek professional advice on compliance with regulatory obligations and to undertake a general health check to ensure they have viable plans for recovery and growth. Directors may need advice on lending, cash flow restructuring, forensics, and improving efficiencies to avoid financial trouble, he said. A professional advisor is the best place to help, or is best placed to help, and that's some good advice. But here's the thing. We're living in a new world now. We're living where the government intervening drastically in the economy to lock things down is now just a part of being in business. That is a risk that you all need to worry about and plan for. I had an emergency contingency plan in my business because I needed it to tick some boxes with the Queensland government. I actually there was an app I could get from the Australian government. I could fill it all out. It generated it all for me. It was fantastic. It was actually really useful. Sadly, it's gone now as well. The only useful thing I'd ever gotten from a government department to help me tick their other department boxes. But anyway, I should do a video on it. But anyway, I actually had to use it once. We rented the back of a warehouse in South Brisbane, West End there. The former Bohemian, now largely gentrified part of South Brisbane, which has got huge traffic problems and lots of construction. And we were sharing this office. At the front was an industrial designer, and they decided to make a whole lot of furniture, outdoor timber furniture in the industry shed. And they didn't have any of the proper extraction equipment, and it just flooded my entire area. It was just horrific. So I couldn't have staff working there because it was a contamination issue. All of this, this beautiful handcrafted furniture, the glues and shit they use on it is not healthy. It's not good for people. And Rachel was pregnant at the time. So we implemented our emergency plan. So essentially we took one of the standalone servers and we set up remotely around my dining table at home because we had laptops that we could work on. And that's it. That's how we implemented it. I lost about half a day until they cleaned it all up. That was a horrible landlord, really. Another advantage for working from home, guys. It really, the landlord, he's a bald, grumpy bastard that doesn't let me put air conditioning in, but still I prefer him. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let us know if this is something that you're waiting on. Are you going to go someone? Have you gotten paid? Are all those invoices up to date? We'll have to see. Because this is going to play out for the next few months. Next, 2021 is going to be interesting. If they start to wean us off some of these support measures, it's going to become a political issue. I bet you it'll become a political issue. What are they going to come up with? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next episode.